Hey Tony, great to be with you again as always. And yeah, a good night last night for Mindy and I. That makes us feel real good. Combine our records together, pretty strong performance. And I don't know, she's kind of leading me on the path to victory. So just follow Mindy, and I feel like I'm in there.
Yeah, I like how what you guys are doing or talking about here about looking not really we were looking at the wins, but kind of looking at what went wrong and making those corrections.
Well, that's all the key to handicapping for anybody out there who's doing their own capping or trying to gauge whether a team is ready for a top performance or not. I mean, honestly, Tony, anybody can look at a matchup and say one team is a favorite over one another. But what you're trying to do in your handicapping is trying to measure the human algorithm. I mean, which team is going to be ready to perform and which one is not on any given night. Anybody can sit there and go straight off their power ratings or whatnot, but it's the ebbs and flows of the season long grind that where you make the money and make sure sometimes you're on some of those ugly dogs that you need to be on in order to keep that winning percentage up. And then sometimes you got to lay that huge chalk when it's not always comfortable. But that's when the a blowout situation is there. So that's all. That's what it's all about. And I'm learning as I'm going along. Still, even at my age, uh, when you get together with someone like Mindy and can listen to her logic and philosophy on each game, come to a conclusion, and that's how we work it on the show, on that show.
That's right, and of course, I like how you kind of assessed yourself with the college of football. You said, "Well, this is where we went wrong. We were taking too many road favorites and not getting the best of the number."
That's right. That's right. Early on we had a good stretch, but two rough weeks. So you just got to look and see where you might have some information that, or like you said, those plays. I mean, yeah, that's those runaway favorites on the road. Not always necessarily the best situation. There are spots where you gotta lay those points, but again, every game, every situation is different. And that's what you gotta look at. That's why you handicap the games the way you do.
Yeah, those home dogs. A lot in common conference. I know a lot of people fell for that Wake Forest trap last week, and I think sometimes you have to look here at the conference games. You got to be very careful playing the road favorite. I think it's more so in non-conference you can get away with it, but in the conference it's tough to straddle yourself to a road favorite in conference play.
Oh yeah, for sure. And again, a lot of times, people say, oh, these trends, trends, and I try to cover a little bit of trend on each pick too, because sometimes it's not so much you say, oh, this is a 20-year trend. I mean, this is college football. I mean, you're going through, 10 different sets of players in 20 years, but a lot of times it's programs have train their situations in conference. You're going into the same settings every year. You have the same travel arrangements. You acquire the kind of the same level of recruits on a year in year out basis, unless programs do see ups and downs. But a lot of times you're really just in the same, just because the personnel has changed, that doesn't mean the situation has changed for a certain program when they go into somewhere, because they might be up against it with a lack of talent, or just that particular road trip never favors that particular team because for whatever reason. So that's why you pay attention to those things too. It's not all about, oh, you just throw it out the window because personnel changes in college football from every 2 to 4 years.
Yep, and the crowd enthusiasm really hype more in conference games. The crowds, they know about what the conference games mean, and of course they know that the familiar uniforms they see coming in the stadiums also spark a little bit as well. And anyway, we'll get now to the game tonight at 7:40 Eastern time. We have the Bulls here to host the Hornets here. The Bulls laying 5 here, total 223.
Well, we saw last night, Tony, and you talked about Zach Levine on several of your shows yesterday and his status. I mean, what's his status going to be tonight? After he lit up the Nets, he could have been playing Space Jam out there by himself, outscoring the Nets in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately for Zach, he ended up playing 37 minutes. Now, his status actually has changed over the last maybe 90 minutes to 2 hours, going from a doubtful up to questionable. So I guess there's actually a consideration that Levine could play tonight for the Bulls after his 29-point performance. 37 minutes, man, for Zach right now, who's not really playing in back to backers. It just seems almost out of the question that he would be in there at this time. But again, I think that's an upgrade to his status. Still, I'm going to look to play against the Bulls right now. They're already 0-2 on the back-to-backers this year, and 1-6 dating back to last season. And we know that Zach's uh, uh, D issues going back even to last year, and the surgery that he had in the off season. Chicago has lost three of their last four games before that great surge in the game last night, a side that we actually were on yesterday with the Bulls. But man, he was just on fire. So we'll see tonight. I'd have to think. I'd probably still have him as doubtful, but again, I think his status has been upgraded to questionable from doubtful. The report came out doubtful 20 minutes. 30 minutes later, they said, "Well, not so fast," but I think it will be tough. Now we know Ball has been out right now. He's going to be out for quite a while for Charlotte for a few weeks, certainly. Rozier, another high scorer, doubtful for Charlotte. This will be their third game in 4 nights, so I think this was going to just end up being a close game between two teams that really are trending to playing close games. Both teams are, around 500, both straight up and against the spread. Charlotte's actually covered three of their four road games this season, so I like Charlotte in this game. I think Hayward will be in a good position to have a good game. PJ Washington also could have a pretty strong game tonight. These are the guys I like on Charlotte. They're 4-3 against the number this year, but 2-0 against the spread off of a spread loss, and they are coming off of a spread loss in that game against the Kings. So Charlotte, they do shoot pretty well from three, and Chicago doesn't defend it too well from 3-point range. Charlotte is about seventh in the league right now, shooting 3-pointers, while the Bulls are near the bottom in defending against 3-pointers. It's been a Chicago series, but 13 of the last 19 games have gone over. We've seen this total drop dramatically, which really would indicate that Levine isn't going to play. It opened as high as like 229, and right now you're looking at like a two. I think you had 223 up there, 224 on the screen. So I think that really indicates that Levine would not play. I think the total would be higher, and I don't think bookmakers would hesitate to adjust if he was in. The total will go up if he is in here, but getting 5 points, Tony, in a game that to me just has to rate very, very close at this point. Like I said, these teams, nothing over the top with these two. Just I think average to slightly above average ball clubs. Maybe Charlotte is a team that we think of as you know, obviously an underdog here, but also for the season. So getting 5 points, that's going to be good enough for me. I think the scoring will not be affected as much with Levine's absence. I do think that DeMar DeRozan can step up and add to the scoring as well for the Bulls. So I'm going to look for Charlotte stay in there tonight, Tony. Can't get it down as a premium, especially dealing with this situation with Levine. I mean, you almost think automatically no back to backers, but I guess there is some talk that he could get in there. But 37 minutes, I'm not sure about that. I've got Charlotte tonight +5. Tony T, I see you and I just don't hear you. I don't know if it's on my end. I am
It's on my
monitoring it
end.
right
It's on my end. Yeah, it
now.
is on my end.
I
There we
should have
go.
been talking. Right? It just took me that
Yeah.
long to call it up on YouTube to see if the sound was coming through.
Oh,
Otherwise, I would have
yeah.
covered for you there, buddy.
No
Sorry about
worries.
that.
No worries. No, I was saying
You got
as
a little synopsis of what you were saying?
yeah, I'm with you here on this one. I mean, you know, with Levine in the back-to-back spot, the Bulls, you know, have just been, like you said, bad last year and back-to-backs this year, already bad this year as they're giving up, they're losing, they're in their games here in back-to-backs, they've lost both of them, and they've gotten outscored by an average of 18 and a half points a game.
Yeah, and again, there is some concern also on the Charlotte end, like I said, because they are playing third game in 4 nights, so they're a little bit up against it too. How it'll affect the flow of the game, I think, will be more defensively than offensively. I think that will allow the offenses tonight to kind of carry the flow of the game. With both teams maybe showing some fatigue here, and so that's maybe why I give Charlotte kind of more of a chance maybe to hang in there. Maybe a coin flippy type of game and getting a nice handful of points here in a game where I don't know if I see Chicago necessarily getting away for any blowout mode here. As far as their personnel is concerned, I mean, I think Vooch is probably set up for the best performance right now. He'd be my top guy with Chicago tonight in that lineup, maybe to kind of pick up the slack, despite what I said. DeMar DeRozan, I think it's a given with him. But if I was looking for someone maybe to step it up for Chicago, I think Vooch and his matchup with Plumlee would be a spot for them to look to. But again, I just don't see a blowout potential in this game.
That doesn't look that way. And of course, as we said, we are seeing fives mostly everywhere. The sharp books in Vegas, we're seeing some 4.5. So if you want that five, I think you better pick it up now because I don't think it's going to hold here near game time.
Well,
Hornets,
open design is 6, so
yeah, 6. Yeah, it is. It's we're seeing that come down here. Ramon here, Hornets +5 against the Bulls. This one to have a start time here of 7:40 Eastern time. All right, Ramon, let's go over at Tony'sPicks.com for today's action. We've been on absolute fire here as we'll put up the numbers here for Ramon. Over 2,001 units of profit the last 3 days. That is all documented over at Tony'sPicks.com, showing great profit in the NBA for this year. 2,966 units of profit in the NBA, 2,932 units of profit in the NHL, 817 units of profit in NFL. We didn't bundle the summer league with them. If we put the summer league in there in his NBA, he'd be close to 3,700 units of profit. But again, doing fantastic work, showing profit this year as well in college football. So Ramon has been outstanding. When we go over to Ramon's handicapper page, you can see all the plays up here. They're all documented. They're all recorded here, and as you can see here on the leaderboard, you can see all the winning, all the sports that he wins at for 2022. You can also toggle in and check out the 24-hour day, 7 days, 30 days for 2022. It's been outstanding performance here from Ramon. All right, Ramon, huge 11-game card here from the NBA, a few on the ice. We got Maction in the World Series. What do you have going on over at Tony's Picks?
well, I couldn't let Mindy have a 7 pack with her hot streak yesterday. She went 4-0 in the NBA. I don't know if she mentioned that, by the way, but I said, you know what, I'm going to come in with a 7 pack. I can't wait. Well, I just really want to strike when the iron is hot right now. If I'm seeing the board this well and I like this group of games, I kind of whittled it. I kind of looked at the bulk of the games, and if I had something where maybe a smaller group of the games would have stood out, maybe I would have come in with a little bit of a smaller package. But I liked the card today as far as the 7 games that I've selected. So I would come ahead and come in there with a big card tonight. I just want to try to keep the streak alive, if you will, in the NBA. So, 7 game card for $35 over at Tony'sPicks.com. High volume means high returns when I'm on a roll and no one lights up the leaderboard over at Tony's Picks like I can. So, came in with a big card tonight, but I'm also involved with that World Series best bet that you see there. And I packaged my other 5 games up including the two games. I went 2-0 in Maction yesterday. I noticed a lot of campers kind of passing yesterday, but I couldn't resist. I liked Ohio at home against Buffalo with that offense that they have, and yeah, they gave it up to Buffalo and let Buffalo kind of come back in the game. And I don't think it was ever questioned. And I had under in the other game, so coming back in with more Maction tonight. I'm going to come in with both games tonight, and also the World Series and a couple of hockey games. Both hockey games. I'm involved in both hockey games, Tony. So, look, I got a big card tonight, coming off a 9-2 day yesterday, and thanks to the subscribers yesterday too. I mean, hopefully everybody was stoked the way things went. If I can use a California phrase, the Southern California phrase, Tony. Dating myself back a little bit there. I was stoked with the day that I had and the day that Mindy have combined. If you put us together, we took our lumps with Team Steam. So we weren't shy about sharing the fact that, we did not go pull through on the show yesterday, really, with our consensus picks. But if you combined them with our premium picks, how about 21-11 yesterday? 32 picks. I mean, Tony, we'll be having a pretty good Christmas if we can keep something like that up right now. So please consider picking up this really affordable package of 7 NBA games, the way the streak is going for me right now, for $35 over there. You see, nearly 3,000 units of profit since we started the site here on Tony's Picks, and my NBA is starting to roll again this season. And thank you for showing those numbers, Tony. You see, 2001, A Space Odyssey, Tony, for the last 30 days of profit here at Tony's Picks. So we got a few hot cappers, but I'm proud to be one of them on your site, man, and just want to come in with a big card today and see if I can keep this roll going right now. Because if you're seeing the board well, why wouldn't you just keep on attacking?
That's right, guys. Get on board with Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. You see the numbers here from the NBA for 2022, 2,966 units of profit for 2022. Notice the NBA Summer League. That's not included in those numbers. The Summer League was tracked separately, 705 units. So you put these together, that's over 3,600 units of profit here when you combine the Summer League and the NBA, a regular season and postseason. So get on board here with Ramon. Also the NHL, near 3,000 units of profit. So get on board with Ramon if you want to try him out. He does have that pass that we talked about here, that he talked about, that 7-pack, affordably priced here, a good introductory to Ramon's service here, where he's been on fire here in the NBA. You've seen the numbers have come in here. 7-pack here for this big Wednesday card, $35, affordably priced, profit guarantee, meaning it must turn a profit, or the amount you purchase is credited back in your account. That is profit guarantee. Also in action here with the World Series Best Bet, as well as a 3-pack here. We've got Ramon here on a NHL here, and he's put together a 3-sport 5-pack. What it is, 3-sport 5-pack right now. So get on board. You can see the little emojis here: 1 baseball, 2 hockey, 2 football there on that 3-sport 5-pack on the board. Also, long-term service passes from Ramon. If you're just into NBA, you can get an NBA season pass from Ramon. Or if you want to get the NHL, he does have an NHL season pass. The way he's been running right now has been red hot in the NHL and NBA, so you may consider that. Or, again, you can probably consider that 1-year all sports pass to just get a year of service here from Ramon. That year-long pass is pretty good value there. All of Ramon's premium plays for a year. He's in action with all the major sports. Does some peripheral sports in the summer, does some peripheral sports during the fall and winter. Most you'll find the peripherals in the summer, but when I mean peripherals, like tennis and soccer. But right now, with all these major sports, a lot of major sports coverage, some MMA as well. He does keep an eye there. So that's also part of that 1-year all sports pass. Of course, you can use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You'll save 20% off that 1-year all sports pass. That will amount to $260 off that 1-year all sports pass. So it's for affordable there for a year of sports service here from Ramon, an all sports there pass that is. So get on board there. But if you want to try them out, probably the tryout package will be that 1-month all sports pass. There again, that'll be $66 off when you use the promo code TonyT at checkout. 1 month. This for November, you don't even think about it, right? If the 1 month you've got all the NFL, you got all the college football. Of course, the college football schedule is really, really packed towards the end of the season with these great rivalry games. So you'll have that, the Thanksgiving football from the NFL, all the NBA. Feast week from college basketball, but college basketball starts here on Monday. you're going to have to look through the card, look for the good TV matchups. You'll find at least 4 to 5 good matchups a day. I understand there's 100 plus games a day, and this is non-conference, but you're going to find those good matchups up there. Trust me, the TV networks want them. These networks have all these TV networks out there want good matchups. You'll get them as well as you'll start seeing these non-conference games in these NBA arenas. They play these tournaments in Hawaii, the Battle for Atlantis. We've got the coaches versus cancer tournament you see in Madison Square Garden. We always see Barclays Center hosting college basketball. And of course, November and December is Gonzaga month, right? You'll see Gonzaga flying all across the country with these big matchups in the non-conference. So get on board here with that 1 month pass if you want to try out Ramon's service. That's a good tryout. Or if you're already sold on Ramon, get the 1 year pass. It's great value there. This is the time of the month to step up. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout, and you'll save 20% off. Access Ramon's handicapper page. You'll access his handicapper page. This page here, when you click the link in the description, you click the All Cappers tab, you'll land right here. You'll see the great performance of Ramon, all sports combined. Then you get into individual sports here. Then you get into the individual one passes, which you'll see in orange, which means they're profit guaranteed, meaning they must turn a profit or the amount is credited back to your account. The yellow are the longer term passes. They're not profit guaranteed because they're sold over to the big discount. So that's how it rolls there over at Tony's Picks. So get on board and sign up and use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save the 20% off. All right, Ramon, we also put together a Twitter account for you over at Tony's Picks. Ramon, what's happening there?
Got one play, Tony, up on Tony's Picks Ramon right now. It's going to come to you in the NBA. So head on over to Tony's Picks Ramon and pick up another free winner from me in the NBA. Tony, every day we put the picks up there. No other frills, no politics, no funny stuff like we have on our other Twitter, just the picks every day over at Tony's Picks Ramon, to bring you one extra pick over there on our social media accounts. Trying to build those up so we can put some other information on there, try to build an audience there. So if you're a part of a Twitter follower, I mean, tweet deck open, the most important thing in my life, as sad as it sounds, but that's how you keep up with it. Whenever you need to know something, you keep your tweet deck open. You want to know what Zach Levine is doing, what his status is. You don't gotta click into Google and type a bunch. Just go to your tweet deck. If you know what I'm talking about. Even if you use Twitter, just type in the name and you'll get the latest status reports and things like that. But again, over on Tony's Picks Ramon, a pick every day over there, Tony. And yeah, just appreciate all the kind words for how we're running right now. Hopefully keep it up. And Mindy and I as well on our show with our consensus picks. We're coming at it again. We found some good plays, we think, today. And look, the chat was kind of honest a little bit, to giving out the free plays. They want winners too, and we want to give them to them. Yes, our best plays are over there at Tony'sPicks.com with our premium selections. Absolutely our best plays each and every day over at Tony's Picks. But we want everybody. Maybe you got to get a start with your bankroll. So we got to, pull some plays down and put them out there on the show and give some free plays out too. Build that bankroll a little bit so you can get involved with the time program over at Tony's Picks, man. I know Mindy and I were texting back and forth with our, hey, it's hard not to brag and be excited when you're having a big day. And when Mindy and I can come together on the premium picks, Tony, and go basically 18-6, we're going to share some moments back and forth on text, congratulating each other. The next day, you wipe the slate clean. You don't really try to rest on your laurels. That's why I'm attacking this board like I am. I mean, I want to keep it going tonight, and so does Mindy. I mean, she rolled the board yesterday in the NBA, so she must be feeling confident, and I am too. So that's what goes on when you are on a roll with the premium picks. And you mentioned those NBA numbers, but yeah, Tony, how about my NHL the last 30 days? How about 34-16? In the NHL. I'm not making these numbers up, Tony. You go right there to Tony'sPicks.com and you scroll down to the on the handicapper profile page. All of our picks are documented by a third-party service that the game's over, just tracks the plays. You see it right there. And 34-16, that's going to get it done, Tony. That's about 70% with plus 1,700 units in the NHL over the last 30 days. So. These are when you're sports, just keep on attacking.
Right, keep on attacking here. Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks, where he's been on fire. So check him out there, and of course check him out over at on Twitter at Tony's Picks Ramon with those additional plays there on social media, and of course the Morning Steam. Saturday through Thursday at 9 a.m. each time. Tune in and get the picks. And if you missed the picks, go back and watch the replays. We have on the YouTube channel. It's prominently placed there for all our live shows, so it's easy to find. And again, as we mentioned here with the podcast, you can also tune into the podcast if you missed the show. The entire show is in podcast format. So our truckers and our people that are commuting home, listen to the podcast. Full card on NBA, NHL, as well as look aheads from college football for Saturday, NFL, as we'll be beginning, I believe, tomorrow. So, guys, check it out on the podcast. Look for Morning Steam there on all your major platforms. All right, Ramon, it's always great having your show. Keep up that great work. We'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Appreciate it, Tony. And I'm looking forward to the Maui Invitational, man. I know you're just having fun with some of the holiday tournaments and everything, but man, the Maui Invitational stacked this year. And of course, Mindy and I are cheering for a finals matchup, Creighton versus San Diego State. There's some real powerhouses in the Maui Invitational this year, starting in like you said, right around Thanksgiving, November 21st. I think you got Arizona, Arkansas, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, Ohio State, and Louisville. Not to mention the Aztecs and the Blue Jays. So that's your blockbuster tournament, especially the Aztecs, getting such a strong run in those early season polls.
That's right, they are, and of course, Arkansas seems to be everyone's top. Seems to be the team they're going to be looking at in that Maui Invitational. So, guys, make sure you get signed up for that 1 month pass. Get coverage from all those holiday college basketball tournaments. What I really look forward to, indeed. All right, Ramon, keep up that great work. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Thank you, brother.